Has evolved into Genius Network. You and I spoke at the last two events, both in June and in April, about getting you involved. And let's kind of start there. So if you're okay with it, if you could tell me a bit around, I have a 20-page document that I basically need to send you. That's the checklist of everything that we can do for you in the Genius Network. But we'll start with, what do you have that's public facing? I know you have the podcast, so there's a media angle there. I imagine you have a bit of a following, and I'd like to know the things that you're interested in moving the industry forward. What are your pet projects?
Wow, that's a lot of different stuff right there. Yeah, I definitely do the podcast. I have currently over 370,000 followers on Twitter, 14,000 connections on LinkedIn, and on the other socials, much smaller amounts. As far as moving the industry forward, it's about mass adoption for me. Excuse me. To me, it's all about actually, the original, as far as I saw it, the original mission of crypto was payments, and it seems like a lot of the main projects have all left that mission. Even with TUSC, our own crypto project, we're focused on payments. I still believe that is the true killer app that will free people. So my main focus is getting mass adoption and figuring out the best ways to do that. And I still think the critical app of crypto that'll have the most fundamental change to society is payments. And we need to crack that nut. And like I said before, I think a lot of the big projects out there that started off that direction have left that narrative. Even Bitcoin, people move to a store of value versus, peer-to-peer digital cash. I still believe in that original mission. And that's why we even created TUSC, is because some of the bigger projects that I really got excited about in the beginning left that mission as far as I can see. So we're still focused on that.
Okay, so you've got TUSC, and how many, so payment gateways is a very big deal. That's perfect. That's a big section of the Genius Network. And it's also tied to kind of the education side of things. Payment gateways are going to fall into anything from digital wallets and digital identity to the crypto ATMs type of situation, to XRP and how banks interchange things, and all of that disruption into essentially the global economic engine. If you can identify the companies that are going to get disrupted, you can have predictive power there. Okay. Talk to me a little bit around your podcast and networking goals. Who do you go after in the space? Who's important to you? And who do you want to create new narratives with?
Oh, let me back up. I also forgot that I organize in Salt Lake City a crypto and preparedness conference called Off Chain every year as well. Totally forgot about that. So, but I wanted to throw that out there. Something also I'm involved with. So, I guess I'm involved with the crypto world in a lot of different ways from a platform. However, my job is not about trying to make money as a content creator. Unlike a lot of people that have a big footprint, that is not my goal. I don't even try to monetize it. I don't charge people to come on my shows. At this point, I've never taken a paid advertiser. I've been doing my little podcast now for about 1.5 years, and I don't have any plans to do so either. In fact, you guys want to come on, I'd be happy to have you guys come on, but I'm not looking for advertisers and things like that. I'm doing it because I want to promote the community and promote my community, but I'm not trying to monetize it that way. I think that takes away from focusing on good stuff. As far as networking, personally, because I have two dogs in this fight, so to speak. I do have Rob, who's a co-founder of a crypto project, and then I have Rob, who's just interested in crypto in general. So I can switch back and forth between the two different kind of Robs when it comes to this kind of stuff, depending on what the situation calls for. From a personal standpoint, I'm here. I still am a permanent student, so I always want to learn new things. So I also find, even if I disagree with people, I like being in the room with people that are smart. And I'd rather be a room full of smarter people than me. And so when I'm the smartest guy in the room, I get really scared, generally. But as far as networking for TUSC kind of stuff, which that's always in the back of my mind. But, to me, it's just about connecting with good people.
Yeah.
I can give you our exact pain points right now and how do we solve that.
Let's start there.
Oh, so the TUSC pain points right now, which we're working through, is just low liquidity right now. So unfortunately, we're in a weird bottleneck position with TUSC. We have 14% of our supply in the community reserve, which can be voted on for marketing and or developer worker funds or proposals, things like that. So, but we don't have enough liquidity to exercise any of that yet. So once we do, we're going to pile a lot of money into marketing to grow the project. Right now, it's just getting enough users to get through this liquidity bottleneck so we can get on bigger exchanges and do some more partnerships. Our roadmap is we're planning on doing that for the next 12 months, is working on liquidity, working on and off ramps. And then in 2021, we're looking at doing some major onboarding pushes for retailers, probably about the middle to the second and third and fourth quarters of 2021. We're gonna start making our pushes for onboarding of retailers. But that's where we are on our roadmap. It's a bottleneck, but it was a bottleneck that we anticipated when we launched, just because we kind of know where things are going with these projects. But that's what we're doing right now.
Okay. So we need liquidity providers, and then there's another level of
ultimately we need more investors. We need more people to come into the project and know about the project. I think that's probably the number one thing is earned media. I'm guessing at this point, if I had to figure out the quickest way to fix that problem, would be earned media. And I do a lot of PR on my own as it is, but really just not enough people know about us yet. I think that's part of the problem.
So that is a big part of what Genius Network can fix for you. So I will send this document to you. Think of this as a very big checklist. And if you want any of these things, just circle them and I'll figure out how to create a package for you. So sorry, this is lagging a little bit. So basically the Genius Network can help with getting investors through the G-Tank side of things and getting folks to know you with our events and the networking. So basically it sounds like you want to be at the tier where you're in all of the events, you want to be in the collective side. So we'll skip through this. This is the insider stuff. Okay, so this is collective, and this is basically service providers in the space. If you have something to sell, you have something public facing and you're looking to build your brand, right? So there's different tiers here. I'll let you look through all of that. It starts at $100 a month, then $200 a month, and then $500 a month.
I didn't know we got paid for this.
No, that's Coin Genius's prices. So there is, you're closer to this one, just you need the G-Tank competition and you need all of those things as well. But I can give you a sweetheart deal. So just look through all 20 pages of this and decide what's important. I'm going to go past these packages and show you about the consulting side of things. Not that you need our consulting, but by bringing you into the fold with the Genius Network and the collective, this is what we're showing people, right?
So let me ask a question. You only take fiat or Bitcoin, right?
No, we have all kinds of flexibility, including taking tokens at this point.
Okay, well, that's it. So I don't want to waste anybody's time because we don't have Bitcoin or cash because we're a native coin. All right. I just wanted to throw that out there. I don't want to. You get into some of the. I talk to people all the time, and they're like, "Come on in and list with us. We'll give you a sweet deal." I'm like, I get it, but I didn't do an ICO. This is a community deal. Now, okay, I just don't want to waste anybody's time.
I know who you are in the space, and I want you in the collective. We'll give you, a couple months free or whatever. When you start seeing the value, and you're like, oh, now I feel guilty because I'm not paying them. Like we've tripled our business, that kind of thing. So let me just show you what we have, and then you can kind of get a feel for where you want to participate.
Okay.
I know you, and I know I want you basically at all of the events, but there's a lot of things that we can do to help behind the scenes so that more people know about TUSC, that you get in front of more investors. We can include you in the portfolio. There's a lot that we can do. So let me just kind of bombard you a little bit, and then you can look through these pages on your own, and then we'll have a next meeting where you go, okay, I want all of these. And I would say, well, that's normally $15,000, but we're going to do this, and let's take it down to crawl, walk, run of how much you want to engage, because all of this takes cycles from my team, from your teams. It depends on how active you want to be. So the first and easiest piece is the collective profile. This is all digital facing. This is any digital URL. Usually there's an affiliate discount code. If you're selling something, CoinGenius audience gets a discount. We do intake here to be like, what is your target audience? What do you want the crypto and DeFi community to know about you? Because that's who we represent all over the world. Your credibility links, anything that physical that you want to sell in the marketplace. And then, like you were just talking about, events. Do you host an event? Do you go to events? What do you like about them? What do you not like about them? Who do you want to meet and speak with, right? Like, kind of think of this all as like digital event networking. Then there's the endorsements of, what do you want to see from this community? What do you want to see move the industry forward? Who do you want to connect with? And then, because we're a big data company and I'm a data nerd, we have all these badges. We have an XRP, a GXP, like Genius Experience points. And like all of this is laid out in the documents. But mostly we want people to be able to find each other. So if you're looking for, I need to see all the digital identity experts in the Genius Network, that you could literally sort it and go, okay, here's all the people that I can talk to. These are all people in the collective that have the CoinGenius stamp of approval. We have spoken with them personally, and we know that they are not scams. Then you get into your content creation, which is a big piece of the industry. They're either creating content and they want that to go out and be amplified, or they want to create content with the Genius Network on one of the two podcasts, maybe some of the industry reports that we do. If they need to get their brand awareness out there, if they have educational content, if they are trying to get fundraising, if they're an investor that wants to invest in the blockchain sector but needs to understand it, or participate in the events. Plus industry explanations and deep dives. Like, there's a lot of technology here that most of the people on the planet do not fully understand. And then the industry networking, which is the stuff that you were with us and kind of the organic conversations that happen. We're also doing some fun things in philanthropy. We have Charity Genius and a relationship with the Binance Charity poker tournament. So if anyone wants to add that to their events, we're helping coordinate those. And then just in general, our events all circulate around industry regulation and market updates. It depends on what's going on and what the community is calling for. So this is what we just got through at our CGCI events, and this is the format, so you can kind of see where speaking opportunities and sponsor opportunities are. You can look through that later. I think you would be very interested in the CoinGenius University, both attending and likely creating some educational content. We do everything from adult education of financial and wealth management to K through 12 education of what is crypto, what is financial and wealth management, trading education for folks that want to get really deep, mining education if they're interested in that sector, because there's not a lot of aggregated information around mining, and it's the backbone of how this industry works. And then also on the social media side, if you have something coming up, whether it's a product release or an event or an announcement, a PR, anything that is public facing, Genius Network can help. And we want to amplify that out to the community of folks that are literally the audience that cares about what's happening in your company or in your content, right? This is some other pieces that come along with that package. Influencer page. This is also you. That you want to meet more high quality people, also that you would benefit from being at every single level of event, whether it's G-Tank, Founders Circle. Basically, you would get an invite to everything. You'd be at that tier. If you want extra assistance, you actually have a really strong influence. So if you want extra stuff, most people that talk to us, they're looking to get more. And so we help with speaking opportunities, media opportunities. We leverage our podcast network. We leverage our media network, all of that. So if you're interested there, we can do that too. The Oracle page is something that is pretty dang exclusive, and that goes into our think tank and our consulting. Let's see here, the media page, we talked a bit about this. We have a lot of content that we create. I feel like a TV producer most weeks. I'm like, I don't know how this happened, but this is my life. So looking at the media page, this is like, how do we let the media know more about you so that you get picked up in some of the bigger circulations? And this is always tied into the digital facing opportunities of the ecosystems in CoinGenius. So like if you're part of the collective, we want to share this kind of information so that other folks can know. There's your event promotion, your company promotion. We do a lot. I'm going to just keep going. This is some examples of our networks on the podcast and the media side. Founder Circle, we can definitely talk about that, but I feel like I'm already throwing a lot at you. This is the startups help. This is how do you get investing? How do you have a go-to-market strategy? How do you speak investor, right? It's a language and a culture all of its own. And this is what they look for. This is their checklist that I got literally from someone who sits on $25 million of managed funds. So we've put a lot of thought into this as to how to help startups, how to help the ecosystem, how to connect the Genius network. And it's all taxonomy based, it's all data based, and it's all the level of services that you want to get into. So that's a lot, but I will send this document over to you. Any questions? And we have about another 10 minutes before I have to wrap up.
Nope. Is that honest enough? Yeah, send me over the document. I'll take a look at it and talk to the team and then figure out how we can, what we can work out and what makes sense. All sounds great. We got to grow this stuff, but and you guys have, at least some of the events that I've been to, I've enjoyed. So I would say let's keep it going.
Awesome. So we've got a pitch event coming up on August 7th. If you're looking for pitching and you just want to do a one-off, like if you want to keep everything like really cheap, we'll figure that out. It's $500 just to pitch, but like I said, we'll figure it out. That's August 7th. Then at the end of August, we're doing an NFT day, which I'm bringing together all of my payment gateway specialists, because NFTs, digital wallets, and payment gateways, and really owning digitally, understanding what you own, all kind of ties together. I think it could be interesting to maybe put TUSC as like even just a sponsor shout out or something, trying to get you a little more incorporated into some of our recorded media so that your brand is out there, that we get you on the website, we get some advertising and some like lead up into that. I think that there might be some crossover there. I need to understand what TUSC does more before I can help like pitch it. And that's probably the follow-up call, is like the deeper dive of how much you.
It's easy. We got 10 minutes. I can tell you in one. We're just
Perfect.
we're a pure payments crypto project.
What is the application?
TUSC stands for the Universal Settlement Coin. So I could send you our pitch deck, but the fact is, our big hairy goal is we want to be the most widely adopted cryptocurrency on the planet.
Okay, and it's literally for buying a burger.
What's that?
It's literally used for buying a burger. You should use it as a payment for as fiat,
yeah.
or
yes.
Okay, because there's stable coins, there's all these extra layers, right? So you have to decide it is this and it is not this.
So we are just a pure payments crypto project. We're not a smart contracts platform. We are not a stable coin. I don't want to be a stable coin. We don't do staking. I don't want to be pegged to the US dollar. So what happens in 5 years when all this inflation hits from the $6 trillion to $10 trillion we're going to print this year?
Which is going to happen.
And I need to think about what TUSC looks like in 25 to 50 years, because we're thinking long term. So, and with technologies of atomic swapping, you can instantly move back and forth to a stable coin or to fiat. So that's why we didn't want to be out. We don't do staking, because staking, for instance, actually does the opposite. That encourages and incentivizes people to hoard and hold. I don't want people to hold and hoard TUSC. I want them to spend it. So what we're doing that's different is how we're approaching mass adoption. Okay. So we created, so we're a decentralized project. We have on-chain governance. There is no company. No one owns TUSC. I'm not a CEO.
It's a true DAO.
Oh, well, we don't even have a DAO. It's all in the code. We don't have a foundation set up. So, we're completely decentralized. We started as a token.
This is kind of like Bitcoin and saying like Bitcoin was supposed to be this autonomous thing that the governments could never shut down and it wasn't tied to inflationary fiat systems. This would be similar, but I imagine the biggest issue with Bitcoin is settlement doesn't happen fast enough. And you're talking about atomic swaps, which indicates to me that you guys have figured out the settlement side of it.
Well, we have 3-second block times and our average confirmation time is less than 3 seconds. We built it out of the box. We're delegated proof of stake, not proof of work. So we built it out of the box. So how we're getting mass adoption, though, is we created a term limited and elected vendor called the marketing partner, which serves a contract period. It grows TUSC like a startup would, and it gets an automatic small share of the block rewards, and then it does an annual report to TUSC. No other crypto project has done this way. And we're focusing on niche markets that have recognized problems. So we create and led TUSC down a normal market segmentation strategy. So we're focused on the gun industry because it's a $50 billion industry with a recognized problem. If you try to market TUSC to people that don't have a problem or think they have a problem with payments, then you're wasting their time and creating more problems. If you're hassling Uber drivers and you're hassling your grandmother and you're hassling, the barista at Starbucks about using Bitcoin, you're wasting their time and yours because you're not going to get adoption that way. We're focused on industries that have recognized problems that crypto actually solves a big pain point for them. And the first industry, not the only, that we're mainly focused our marketing efforts into is the gun space. And we figured that if you're like Amazon started as a bookstore. A lot of people aren't old enough to remember, but they were a bookstore for more than 5 years, and all they talked about is books until they disrupted and got traction in the book industry with this new online e-commerce thing that was brand new. That's how they got adoption. And then once they got adoption and traction, then they went into other industries. That's how we're focused with TUSC as well. We're going to bring mass adoption through focusing with people that crypto has a problem. People that have a problem with payments. We're focused on that industry. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to look at other low-hanging fruit. We have several other industries that are already coming to us because they trust us and our project works and we're out there networking. And so we're not just the gun crypto, but that's where we're starting with our marketing. So that's how we're approaching mass adoption in a different way. And we're doing it very actively. We're also a balanced team. We're not a developer-led project. We're an entrepreneur-led project. Even though we're decentralized, I, as one of the co-founders, am an entrepreneur. I'm not a programmer. And so we view sales and marketing and business development and from a very different perspective. And I think those are the things that set us apart. I say we're trying to close, and I've coined this, but the crypto adoption last mile, and we're focused on how do you build demand and stimulate demand to use crypto. There's lots of crypto projects out there that have payment gateways through like coin payments set up on hundreds of thousands of websites, but no one's using it. Doesn't matter if your crypto has a payment gateway and you're in 5,000 stores worldwide. What are you doing to stimulate the buyers to use your crypto at that payment gateway? And no project is talking about that problem because they're not focused on it. They don't know how to do it. I think we have. And so that's what we're
really
different.
interesting. Okay. So I definitely see crossover with NFTs. What I would need, so the investors are going to be asking about, can you do a demo of your tech? Can you prove that your tech works? And then they're going to ask for some level of what does like momentum look like? What's your user adoption? What kind of partnerships have you brokered? How do you prove traction, right? They're going to be looking for traction. How would you answer those two things if you were sitting in front of an investor right now?
So right now we have a preliminary partnership with a new marketplace that's going to be doing in the importing of flowers industry called ShipFlora. So they're going to be using TUSC as a payment method. Their MVP will be, they're a funded project out of Texas. They will be using TUSC as a payment system. We are currently in talks with the two largest point of sale providers to the gun retail industry. Collectively, they have over 6,000 retailers using their software. We're in late stage talks with integrating TUSC into their payment gateways at the retail brick and mortar and online level. That's where we're starting. We have 4 retailers already picked up in our beta program because we're not focused on retailer adoption yet. We're focused on infrastructure right now. So it's kind of chicken and egg right now. And then we just picked up a CBD. So we just picked up a CBD company out of Colorado. They're coming on board. So
there's a lot happening in that space too. Okay, so I've got a couple of crossover here in terms of payment gateways. I'm also thinking in terms of the point of sale device that JP has, and getting in that. The teams and the audience is going to want to know the use. So you've got your use case, which is great. I'm going to need to understand your tokenomics a little bit better. The audience is going to want to know what exchanges are you listed on. You're really only legitimate if you get up to like Coinbase and Binance. That's when you're quote unquote like the stamp of approval. Everybody else on there is a path to Coinbase and Binance. And then they're going to want to know how speculative, and this comes from your leadership of the company, what you announced publicly to be like, do not speculate this coin. This is strictly for actual payments, right? Like, and just keep reiterating the use case. People are going to speculate on it anyway, because that's half of the fun of the industry. You can't stop that. But the difference between a pump and dump and an actual token is its use case, and you have a strong use case. I would like to have a follow-up conversation around why guns. I imagine from a payment standpoint, I also know your kind of libertarian anarchist views and preparedness and things of that sector. So I imagine that your payment gateway is solving a very specific pain point for that industry, and that you have a big vision around what it should look like. And that's the narrative simple. I'm really interested in.
One sentence, or two sentences. One, there's approximately 6 to 7 industries in the United States right now that have a pain problem with payments. Every one of those industries is distasteful to somebody. Those are things like gambling, prostitution, payday lending, refugees and immigrants, remittances, cannabis, CBD. There's another one in there, and guns. But if you're going to get mass adoption and you need to be able to solve a problem for somebody, crypto doesn't solve a problem for anybody for the most part outside of those industries in the United States today. Of all those industries, only one is constitutionally protected. The rest are not. That's guns. 2 or 3, guns is a $50 billion industry in the United States with a huge pain problem with payments. 4, I have had a business in this space already in a prior life. And 5, I'm passionate about self-defense and being able to stop crime. And so those are the reasons why TUSC is focusing on that industry first.
Very good. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I think I'm probably going to have to chop this up and release some of this to the public, because this is really good information and education for me just around your project and around the impact that it has within the industry. So I'm excited to move forward. I'll send you the landslide and we'll figure out a price point. I definitely want you involved in I've got a couple items in mind for kind of engagement over the next quarter, and I'll get it all added into paper.
Thank you, Kristina. You have a wonderful day.
You too, Rob McNealy. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.